Good morning. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. My name is Marilyn Orr, President of the club, and we are thrilled to have you join us today. This meeting broadcast is available on HCTV, as well as our Rotary of Hudson YouTube channel and Facebook. Our club meets weekly using this digital platform, Zoom. When we meet in person, it's at Laurel Lake Retirement Community for breakfast. We hope to get back to that soon. We meet most Wednesday mornings from 7:15 to 8:30 a.m. So come out to join us for a meeting. We would love to have you as a guest. To learn more about Rotary, our club, and the impact we are having on our local community and the world, please visit our website, rotaryhudson.org. So enjoy this meeting today and help us share the message that Rotary opens doors of opportunity.
And we're ready to go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Hudson. My name is Ron Strobel, the Sergeant at Arms. Our invocation today is by Rich Warfield.
Okay, let's bow our heads, please. Lord God, thank you for this time, these fellow Rotarians. Lord God, I pray for the day that we can be together physically, hugging, as Catherine would say, talking, shaking hands, and just sharing in a morning cup of coffee. And Lord God, I know we've lost some very key Rotarians and their spouses, such as the Pages and James Young. We pray for James and his family from the loss of his wife. And we know it is through pain and suffering, Lord, just like it happened to Joseph when you sent him to Egypt, that all good things will come as a result of it. In your great and powerful name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Rich. And to lead us in the pledge and the four-way test this morning, Dan Filburn.
Okay, join me in the Pledge of the Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test of the things we do, say, or we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it bring goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And now our president, Marilyn Orr.
Well, good morning, Rotarians and guests. Let's get some housekeeping done early this morning. At the last board meeting, the board unanimously voted to send a letter of support to the Western Reserve Lands Conservancy, supporting their purchase of the O'Brien Preserve, and to the Trail Advocates of Summit County, also in support of the development of the multi-use trail connecting the communities of Hudson, Cuyahoga Falls, Silver Lake, Stowe, and Akron, the proposed Veterans Trail. We've invited the other Rotary clubs in our cluster who would be impacted by the Veterans Trail to join us in using our common and powerful Rotary voice. Terry Borknick is going to give us a really quick update on the status of the Rotary Rookie Project. Remember, this is the project we're doing together with the Hudson Clock Tower Club, and it's a pollinator garden currently underway at Ellsworth Hills Elementary. Terry, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I can't join you via video, but we have got most of the prep work done at the school. In fact, all the prep work. Kurt was there Monday night and Monday or Tuesday. I'm a little confused on my days now. I think it was Tuesday. And completed all of the, he brought in extra dirt and rototilled the area. So we spent a couple weeks weeding. Now it's all got some fresh soil and rototilled. So we are ready now for the planting and plugging. And I know Kurt mentioned that he'd like to get this completed before the rains come midweek next week. Now we had a set Monday and Thursday of next week for the planting and or plugging and spreading seed. However, if anybody's available Saturday, I think there are a couple people who said that they were available Saturday to get there. We could make those arrangements and have, be there to help get some of that planting started. So just email me at terrybortnick@howardhanna.com if you think you could be there Saturday, and I'll make arrangements for Kurt to give us some guidance on that. And maybe we can get the planting done prior to the rains next week.
The Kurt she's talking about is Kurt Van Blarkum, who is a very well-known arborist in our community, and he works with the city schools on some of their projects.
Yeah,
and
sorry, I should have clarified that.
He's a terrific guy.
Oh, if you want to know anything about planting birds, whatever, you call him. The trees, he's been a wealth of information.
Yeah, a great partner to work with there. And I think that's really key to the whole thing, is that we do have a good partner working with us from the school side. The Scout Cabin group held a meeting on the 15th of April, and an awful lot of new ideas are being generated, as well as a subcommittee focusing on fundraising. Now, the fundraising subcommittee is scheduled for a quick meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock via Microsoft Teams. If you're interested in jumping in on that, please shoot a quick email to Pat Shearer, and he will share the login information. Now, remember, what we're doing with the Scout Cabin is just we're proposing a renovation. There's just some things that need to be done to tweak it up and get it ready for the next 100 years. Also, the Scout Cabin is going to be one of the beneficiaries of the upcoming gala. So save the date. The date is going to be on September 10th, and we're going to have an outstanding outdoor event at Camp Manitowoc. So we're going to dress it down just a little bit to be a little more casual, and we're going to tweak some of the things that we do. You're going to see a gala like you've not seen in the past couple of years. We've also had several new Rotarians come on to that committee, Kelly Brennan and Jay Yard and Chris Foster. And so we have representatives of the Scouts as well as the Hudson Heritage Association working. This is a great collaborative program. So there's a lot of positive energy happening and coming together. And the committee is also always open for more participation. And if you'd like to jump in and help us with this, please contact Andy Morse, who's chairing this effort. Now let's jump back to the gala. I got a little bit out of order here, but the gala committee, last Friday, Jim Lang and Dan Filburn got out all of the communications to our sponsors. These are the people who pony up some rather large amounts to help us sponsor this gala. And so if you've been a person designated in the past to work with one of the sponsors, you'll be receiving communication from me this week. And we've got a few holes on the spreadsheet, so we're looking for additional help. So if you're interested in communicating with sponsors for the gala, please let me know. Our target date for checks in hand is July 15th. Now, this morning, we also have the Hudson High School Service Learning class with us. Welcome, Jamie Cosman. Can you unmute and let's jump into this. We'd like to hear what the students are doing with their service projects.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. And we've got a really good announcements for you. So we've been able to continue service as we had hoped this semester. We actually only have 5 of our students who are serving remotely this semester, which is awesome. And we actually just have a site who is, we have somebody who's serving remotely there right now who is actually transitioning to all in person. And next year we'll be able to send students to them in person. Which I think is awesome. It's community connections and it's adults with special needs. They have a location in Akron as well as Cuyahoga Falls. And so we're really hoping that's kind of the start, that first domino for us that will open up a lot of places for us in the fall so that next year can look a lot more it's like what we're used to. Another announcement we have is that we actually have planned an overnight trip to Camp Manitowoc. So we will actually be there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so 3 days and 2 nights at Camp Manitowoc, and that is May 18th through the 20th. And we will have service each morning from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And if any of the Rotarians are interested in coming and doing service, it will be primarily outdoor service in small groups, kind of like what we would do typically in the fall at Camp Lesieutre. But you're certainly welcome to come and help out if anybody's able to and comfortable coming and doing that. And again, it'll typically be outdoor service. We're looking at service at both Camp Manitowoc and Camp Lesieutre, as well as a couple of other places that we're still securing. So you are certainly welcome if anybody is able to and interested. I do have 2 really outstanding students here as well. I've got Nick, who first semester was actually working with hospice patients, and he was doing it from afar, and he'll be able to tell you a little bit about that. And this semester, he's actually working at the Hudson Community Foundation in person, which has been a great experience for him. And one of the reasons he was placed there is because he said he had some interest in business and kind of how nonprofits run. So he's getting a good experience with that. Then Morgan, she's kind of, I give her a ton of credit because there was about a 5 or 6 week span first semester where the only place I saw her was at her site. She was at Parrot Hope Rescue, and I happened to catch her at that kind of 2 days that I think that she wasn't actually in quarantine. She had almost a literal back-to-back quarantine. And I give her all the credit in the world because she never complained, and she did what she needed to do to make sure everybody was safe. So she was at Parrot Hope Rescue last semester, and this semester she's over at the Streetsboro Food Pantry, which I think has been a good experience for her. So we'll let Morgan start us off. So Morgan, unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name's Morgan. And like Mr. Cosman just said, my first semester, I was placed at Parrot Hope Rescue, which is a exotic bird rescue for birds that are neglected, abused, or their owners no longer want them anymore. And while I was there, I spent a lot of time like cleaning, and I spent time taking care of the birds, and I kind of just helped with odds and ends and just helped things run smoothly. It was a really interesting experience because I don't think a lot of people get the opportunity to work with birds. So I was really fortunate to get that. And I plan on going to veterinary school. So that was also really interesting for me because like I love animals. So that was really beneficial, and it'll be a great resume builder in the future. A part of our class requirement is a site project. So while I was there, I created bird toys with like a bunch of supplies that my supervisor had given me. And so he'll be able to use those toys in the future and give them to people who adopt the birds maybe. My second semester, I've been at Streetsboro Community Pantry. It's just a food pantry for Streetsboro residents. And while I'm there, I help sort their food, like organize the cans, and help give their people their food. And during COVID, or prior to COVID, people were able to come inside and shop around like a grocery store almost, but because of the precautions they've taken, we just deliver the food to people's cars now, and it's like no contact. So yeah, definitely following COVID protocols. And while I'm there, there's a lot of downtime because we're really only busy if like there's customers there who need food. And this gives me a lot of time to engage with the volunteers there, and it gives them the opportunity to engage with someone younger because I'm like the only high school or like child volunteer there. And it's kind of showed me that service isn't just about doing something physical, like spending time with people also is a part of service. And I'll be finishing up there in a few weeks, and then I'll be graduating because I'm a senior this year. And service learning has been a really great experience this year. It's been really nice to go out into my community and learn more and give back because I volunteered before, but not to this extent. So I've really enjoyed it. And I honestly didn't really consider being a part of service learning until my junior year, and I definitely don't regret joining at all. It's been a really great opportunity for me. And next fall, I'm planning on attending Ohio State and studying animal sciences on a pre-vet track.
Okay,
All right.
do you want me to go now?
Yes, I was going to say thank you, Morgan, and now I'm going to turn it over to Nick.
Okay, thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. Like Mr. Cosm said, I'm Nick Ryan. Nice to meet you. Like he also said, first semester, I was placed at Springer Hospice, Heather Knoll, I believe, down in Stowe. And so at first, I was excited because I was with another one of my classmates, and it was a little tough getting in because, a lot of precautions had to be taken just to make sure everything was safe. And like right off the bat, it was nice. We got to do window visits and we'd call, and it was really nice outside. So it was this great experience being able to, talk to these few patients who really seemed like they needed someone to talk to after being pretty much, cut off from the world for so long. And so, we did that consistently. And even when the weather started to get worse, it was still okay, because even though when we would go inside and we would still call them, so even when we couldn't see their face, it was nice to get them through the phone. Sadly, though, around November, when things started to get a little bit worse again, we did have to basically stop going, which was really sad because we had, spent so much time with these few patients. But it was still fine because, we found other things to do, to fill up hours with, we made tons of, I made tons of blankets, that we could donate to other hospices. That, although it was a lot of blanket making, it was really fun. And although I didn't get to really see, where those blankets went and, how they affected people, I'm sure I know that it was for a good cause. And so from my semester site that semester, me and Emma, my classmate, decided to do what we had been doing, and that was to make blankets for those specific patients as well as write them cards. And so same thing, though, we couldn't necessarily see, their reaction, but again, we hope that their cards and the blankets meant something to them, even having to be separated from them. But currently I am at, what you could say is a more consistent site. I am at the Hudson Community Foundation, a lovely nonprofit organization downtown. And it is more of a business, environment, which is really good because I'm planning on going into business, finance more specifically, because I've always loved numbers. And so I go in there every day. I love everyone that works there. They're all so nice to me. And it's such a peaceful environment. And a lot of the things I do might seem boring to a lot of people, sitting there on a computer and doing whatever they need me to do. But I've always found that stuff sort of relaxing. And it's something that I'm really glad that I'm able to be there. And for this semester, I decided to, so a little background knowledge, I actually work downtown at Farinacci Pizza. And every year they host a Super Bowl Sunday charity, donation event. And next year they decided to sponsor Hudson Community Foundation. And each year before we have the event, we always put stickers on the boxes to get the word out. And I decided this year to create that sticker for next year so that they don't have to when the time comes, because they told me it's always this big ordeal to get, advertising. So I've had the honor to make the sticker and also put out the plan. And it's been really fun working with both my work environment and then also my service environment. But so yeah, it's been nice. And like I said, I'm going to Ohio State next year, like Morgan, and I've been accepted into the Fisher College of Business. So it's just really great that I've had this experience with service learning, with site, and even both with hospice, talking with people. And it's not just the fact that it's not like Morgan said, you don't always have to have this hands-on service to experience what service is, because a lot of my service has been, separated and I can't really see the effect, but I think, it's helped me know that I am doing something, and that feels really good. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick and Morgan. It sounds awesome. I like especially the things that, Nick, you were talking about doing some marketing for Farinacci's. One of my favorite places. It helps that they're only 2.5 blocks away from where I live. So anyway, I think I've had a few of your pizzas. So thank you very much for being with us this morning, and best of luck as you transition into becoming Buckeyes. This morning, Jim Ahern has had a few difficulties with Wi-Fi, and so it's my pleasure to introduce John. John, I'm not going to say your last name. I know I'll murder it. But anyway, I'm going to introduce John with TopGolf. John's been affiliated with TopGolf since September of 2014, and he's been in his current position since February of 2018. He's a graduate of Northern Arizona University and has a diverse resume with emphasis on sales, customer service, and event planning. TopGolf has 3 Ohio locations, all strategically located at highly visible sites from freeways. The Independence location at the intersection of I-77 and I-480 was opened, I believe, in 2020. And I watched that little baby go up, and I'm telling you, it was really great fun. And he certainly had my interest when I saw the really tall poles going in place. So tell us more about what TopGolf is all about.
Good morning, everyone. I know we started off the call a little bit talking about football. So if you just want to talk football and the draft, we can do that a little bit too. But, I digress. Thank you for letting me join the group. I have been with TopGolf for a while, and a little bit about myself. I do come from a hospitality background, and it's been, we opened TopGolf here in Cleveland in 2019, and it's been very exciting with what Marilyn said, with the polls going. People were like, what is that? What is going on? So we are strategically located to have easy access for people to get in and out. So a little bit of TopGolf, if you're not familiar, think of it as an outside bowling alley on steroids. So it's a game where people can learn how to play golf for the first time. It's also, we're, in a position where people can learn how to better their game. But it's more importantly, we bring people together. And that's the whole basis of our strategy, is that we're not just a golf driving range. This is a business model that was built in a sense on a sport that hasn't over the years excelled. We've seen a lot of the sports and a lot of other people get involved in this, but our magic is that it's bringing people together, for people not to be on their cell phones, and for families and friends and coworkers to come together. We also try to take the intimidation out of golf by people who have never picked up a golf. So we would say the majority, almost 50-60% of the people that come into TopGolf have never picked up a golf club in their life. However, their spouse or friends may have. And this gives them a chance to not have the intimidation of walking onto a golf course and try to play and feel like they're putting people behind. So they get to try out how to swing a golf club. And part of our purpose too is to drive people to the green grass courses. It's not just for us to be involved in just having people come here. We also have a golf pro here, and she's here to teach lessons. And it's beautiful to see people, young kids picking up clubs, and people for the first time being able to take those lessons and to get on the golf course. So a little bit about TopGolf. We've been around the early 2000s. This was created actually in Great Britain by 2 brothers who were actually at a driving range, and they couldn't figure out how far their golf balls were going, distance, and all of that. So we track our golf balls off of their technology, and we've taken that to another level. So there are, in all our golf balls at a TopGolf, there's an RFID chip that is tracked. So if you hit off one of our golf mats, it's going to show you where that ball went into one of our targets. The latest technology we have is a company that was called Pro Tracer. We bought them a few years back. It's called Top Tracer now. And if you watch a lot of the golf tournaments on TV, you see that ball that's kind of tracked. That's our technology. So we would say about half of our venues here had that technology. We do not here in Cleveland. We're going to get that this year. I have had it in a previous venue from where I came from. It's fantastic. And with that, you get to play different games. Right now we're doing things like Angry Birds for the young kids, but you can also go onto different golf courses like Pebble Beach and some of the other famous golf courses around the nation. So it's great because you get to, you know, see how far or how short your ball has gone, and it shows you the speed and the apex and all of that. Let's see. Yeah, we opened this up in 2019, just in December. We were shut down for a couple of months last year, as we all know. But since then, we've been very fortunate in this Cleveland market to draw from really everywhere, from the east side, the west side, Akron, downtown, all the communities. So it's been a very welcoming experience here in this community. We employ at this location, as we head into summer, from a job market standpoint, we employ over 400 people here at this location. So we impact not only community from a job standpoint, but we also are very involved with the community in different ways. So with COVID, we reached out to American Red Cross, and we had a lot of number of days with them to help them with the schools closed, that they couldn't set up their blood banks. So we did things like that. We're very involved with First Tee, which is underprivileged people who are trying to get into the game of golf. We also reach out to the local high schools for their golf teams that they can come out here and practice for free. So we open that up for them. And then just many, you know, Make-A-Wish is the month of April, and we're a national charity with them. So we're very involved, not just with the local communities, but also with the national communities. And that's probably one of the best things we do here, and what I love to do a lot of volunteer work. So so the skill level with, like I said, the skill level with TopGolf is advanced and it's beginners. And on a usual Saturday, the best thing to witness is the young kids coming in with their families. And then you see as the day progresses, you have the families, you have just couples coming out. So, and then we have friends. So we do a little bit of everything with touching base with people who are here to celebrate, whether it's birthdays or anniversaries. We just had a proposal the other night here at TopGolf. We do gender reveals, where we're able to show our targets in different colors, whether it's blue or pink. So we have these huge parties where people get to experience that with their families. What else can I kind of tell you a little bit about this? I'm going to try to do a video, see if I can share my screen. If I can't do it, please, let's see if I can do this.
Just a hint, when you do share the video, there's a little box that you can click to make sure that it also shares the sound.
Yeah, I'm going to probably struggle with this, but
yeah, so if you have it open and you hit share screen, you should see that little button, and then you can select the screen where the video is.
Let's try it.
It should be if you're on a PC, it would be at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm on a PC, so.
Should be a little green box that says share screen with a little up arrow on it.
Yeah, I have that. I have the video up on another screen here. I may not be able to do it. It shows a little bit of. Yeah, I'm usually the one that's on the receiving end of these calls, not the one who's sharing stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. So it's a little bit about TopGolf, but if many of you or if any of you have not been to a TopGolf, we're right here in Independence. Recently, we were bought by Callaway Golf, who has taken over the majority of our stock. However, they've always been, since I've been with TopGolf, they've been a minority owner, and they've just wanted a bigger piece of what we're doing to help spur not only our growth, but to help synergize both companies, helping sell their product, but also spur our growth. These TopGolf did start off, like I said, in the UK. There's 3 venues over there. Currently, we have 63 locations here in the US. 6 of those, we have 6 more that are opening this year. We also have one venue in Australia, one in Mexico City, and then we recently opened one up in Dubai. We are looking at Germany next year. We're also opening one in Thailand next year. So we have national or worldwide partners where we're going to see, especially in the Pacific Rim, a lot of growth. But it's been it's been a fun experience for me. It's probably been the best job I've ever had. And as a youngster, when I was 12 years old, this was my first job. I was a caddy growing up. So I've started in the golf industry, and I probably will retire in the golf industry. So I would love to answer any questions. I see some questions in the chat. How many acres? Typically about 14 acres, anywhere from 10 to 14 acres for one of our locations. So our real estate folks that we work with have to be very strategic in finding land, working with cities. And it's a long process. So in some cities, it's a lot quicker, and some, like we're opening up in El Segundo, California, which is in LA, has been in the works for about 6 years. So it all depends. Cost of putting up a facility like the one here, anywhere from $20 to $30 million for one of these venues to go up.
Wow.
There's a lot of cost, not just in the land, but the technology, the building itself.
Jim Ahern has the theory that you like to build next to IKEAs so that the ladies can go shopping and the gentlemen can enjoy a free afternoon of golf. Any comments on that theory?
I know we have a few. I know the one down in Columbus shares a huge parking lot, so that does help. We take up a lot of parking spaces, especially with the amount of events we do and the walk-in business. So yes, it's strategic. We've had parking lots more or less next to or shared with IKEA and the Costco's. Yes, well, that is definitely a fact.
Now, is that search? Is that something your company internally does, or do you outsource that?
That is, we work with local real estate agents, I believe. We have a couple of gentlemen. We have our own real estate division at TopGolf, and we're based in Dallas. But they do a lot of work with locals, especially with with all the communities, for sure. Any plans for Japan? I would say so. That is, they are definitely obsessed with golf, like China. I spent a little bit of time in China many years ago, and it is they love it. You know, they love it in the Pacific Rim, and we have a major partner out there. But we are looking at, I know, the Philippines, Thailand, China, Korea, and Japan.
Yeah, Korea as well. Yeah, Korea too.
Oh, in Korea, definitely. So that's all going to be in the works. That's probably, more of a long term, the next couple of years, and the sky's the limit, I think, there. And I imagine the challenge of land and the price of land out there, but there is a plan on getting those opened.
Are you going to have an IPO?
No, we didn't. We talked about going private in the last couple of years. I'm not really sure with COVID if that slowed that process down. I don't have all the answers on that, but I know that since Callaway was already a minority partner with us, it just made sense when they approached us. They were on our board during all this time, so they've seen the growth. They understand our business, which is very comforting because it's not like we're being taken over by somebody who wants to change our culture and our business model. And we do a lot of things already with them, with their equipment. I mean, my shirt I wear to work is a Callaway shirt, so it's a marriage made in heaven, in a sense that from these two and from their industry of what they do and what we do, I think it's gonna be very positive.
Now, John, I've not stepped foot on your facility yet. Pro shop there? You want to tell us? You have a pro shop?
No, we do have retail. That's one of the things I think we're looking at with this merger with Callaway, is having something like a fitting room and being able to sell some of their product. One of our biggest location is Las Vegas, and they have that. That is a different venue. Like our venue here is 3 floors. I have 102 hitting mats. But Vegas has 4 floors, and they have a pool on top because it's Vegas. But they also have a huge retail fitting room. Yeah, it's a big one. I would see that happening probably in the next 6 to 12 months is the hope. We have asked about that.
Now, why do you have 400 employees? Is that because of the dining experience that goes along with it?
Yeah, so yes. To answer your question, yes, we do food and beverage. So we have on each floor, we have sit-down bars, except for the one on second, but that's a service bar. But yeah, we're serving food and beverage for all 102 bays, common areas. We have 3 patios. Each floor has a patio, big patio downstairs. And between, just from a manager standpoint, there's 26 of us that I manage. We have a sales team. So we book a lot of, not just social, but corporate events. So yeah, it's a big team. So whether it's cooks, dishwashers, servers, our food runners, our golf service. Yeah, my golf pro. I mean, it takes an army to run this building. It's a lot of fun. So
Hey, John? John?
Yes.
Marilyn, I've been there twice, and it's a great experience. Each bay gets served food, so you can have 8 people in a bay. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. And their food, it's kind of like chicken fingers and whatever. You can leave there with a decent tab. John and his people did a nice job the day I was there. Second time, they had 2 second floor and third floor had 2 fundraising events, and they were completely booked. So they do that for charitable events,
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good time. You don't have to be a great golfer, like maybe Phil Tobin or Tom Tobin are, but it's just a fun time. You're there to socialize.
Yeah, you really are. Well said. In fact, we have a number of charity events coming up, one of which has been sold out. That's being attended with one of our Browns players, and it sold out within like an hour, and we had a second night. So that's happening in June. So we do go after that audience to have those fundraisers here, so we can give that money back to the local charities and community. So yes, yeah, there's the food is kind of what you said. It's chicken fingers, there's burgers, flatbreads. So it's a pretty diverse menu. Definitely cocktails. But yeah, it is for socializing. It's to bring people together. That's really what this is all about. And for us to have that great experience with our guests when they come in. It's a lot of fun working here.
Well, I'll tell you, James Field has got the video queued up. Can we?
Okay, let's see if we can make this work.
A little fun with this.
Let's see what you got. Call in the expert.
Good afternoon, everybody. Check out what we're going to be checking out today. TopGolf. It is a new place that opened here in Orlando. That's like a giant fun time driving range. Oh, heck yeah. This looks awesome. Like, I can't wait. It's been a long time since I've driven a golf ball. I'm excited to give it a try today. Wow, this place looks real fancy. They got their own shirts. There's a full out bar over here. Wow. And then out there is the driving range. This is where we're at. We're up here on the 3rd floor, walking down to our bay, which is 317. Look at that view of the Orlando Eye out there. This is fantastic. This is really cool. So I guess all of the balls have microchips in them, and you're aiming for these spots out here. And once you get it into a net, it gives you points based on what net and where in the net you made it in. Look, there's the guy picking up the balls out there. This is amazing. So here's what it is. You pay $5 and you get a TopGolf membership, and this is a lifetime membership that I have. and that enables you to come here and play games. And so this is the actual game. So depending on where you hit it, it gives you different points, and then whoever has the high score, I guess, wins. And you can get holes in ones and stuff like that. And you just wave your club in front of that and a ball pops out. Check this out. You can go through and you can check all the different things on this little computer screen. And one of the things that you can do is you can change the channel on your TV up here. And then also, this will tell you where your ball landed, how far it went, and how much of a curve it had. This is pretty intense. They have these themed golf bag drinks that are for 2 people, and they said that the straws actually look like golf clubs too, and they light up and blink. That was about hitting.
Well, tell us, is that a pretty good representation of what we'll see in Cleveland?
Oh, absolutely. I think they probably have a little bit more sunshine in Orlando, but that's definitely the look we have. So,
So I assume all the same games and technology is there.
Yeah, I think they have at that one, they have the top tracer, which again is the track. So you can see it on the screen where you can look up and see where your ball is going exactly. But we will be getting that also this year. We're already wired for it. We just need to get the cameras. It's such a pricey thing to put in, but we will be getting that. And I think there was a question, making any profit yet? So yes, we are. These TopGolfs are made to, just like any business, to make money. Yes, we're pulling profits every period, every month. So,
any thought about franchising this?
Internationally is what we're doing with the franchising. So, yeah, we like I said, I was hoping that the IPO would take off, but since we were bought out by Callaway, we had some private stocks kind of turn into their stock. So, not the crazy IPOs that you see out there, but it's definitely welcomed.
So how long has this actually been going on in the United States?
The early 2000s. We opened, well, in the UK, they started in the early 2000s. I think there were 3 locations that opened. The first location that came to the US was in Alexandria, Virginia. And then we opened one up in Chicago and one up in Dallas. So the one in Dallas has been open, I think that opened 2005, 2006. And that was a different look. It was a 2-story building, 72 bays.
So you scaled it up.
Yeah, we have scaled it up. There's a lot of some different looks. Like our location here in Cleveland, the field, the bays all look the same, but the building itself is a little bit different than the one you would see in Westchester and Cincinnati or in Columbus. Also opened a thing called a flex model, which is opening. Part of our growth too is opening in smaller communities like Waco, Texas, Augusta, Georgia, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's a flex venue where we could build anything from 24 to 36 bays on one floor. So we're also looking at not just big cities, we're looking at smaller communities that want to play TopGolf, and all of that technology instead of the targets you would have here is the top tracer. That's going to track your ball. So we're seeing a little bit more of the growth there. And then we also opened a thing called TopGolf Lounge up in Seattle, Washington, which is another component of what we do. It's an inside lounge, and they're basically video walls that you're hitting into. So that's one of a kind, and we're going to see where we go with that with big cities.
Well, it's a concept.
Yes, it is a concept. So we're always trying different things.
Yeah, well, that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
We've got a question from the audience. Is there a hedge fund that's involved with your financing? No?
Well, right now, I don't know that. I mean, right now with Callaway taking us over, that is where we're getting all our money to drive our growth. And, you know, I would say we've averaged anywhere from 6 to 9 venue openings a year. And, you know, talking a little bit about how expensive these can be to open. We were fueling all our growth based on what we were producing from existing venues.
Okay.
So we had, you know, some debt involved with this merger. Callaway has taken all of that over, and all their stock and all that. That's what's fueling our growth. So we're putting the pedal to the metal again as far as where we want to be. We're going to open close to 10 venues this year.
When did that Callaway purchase happen?
It happened. It happened in February
Of this year?
of this year.
Yeah, just a couple of months ago.
Just a couple months ago. Yeah, it closed out. It's been in the works for a while, but yeah, it got I think finalized the end of February.
Okay, pretty
Yeah.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
everyone recognizes the name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Few big time golfers like Phil Mickelson that are Callaway fans. The number 3 ranked player in the world is John Rahms, and he's taking. He went to Arizona State. And I believe he went to the Scottsdale location of TopGolf. He's a huge fan of us, and he's actually got the TopGolf logo on his right sleeve. So when he's competing and the big tournaments are getting up there, like at the Masters, of that last day he made that run, it's like, hey, there's our logo. So that's exciting for us to see.
So I've shared your homepage here, so you could maybe talk a little bit about how people get actually scheduled for the TopGolf.
Yep. So there's reservations online. Unfortunately, they go pretty quickly. And so we are open every day at 10 o'clock. And there's different rates, as you see, per hour, per day, or during those slots. So the early morning, we get that line out the door a little bit till 12 o'clock. It's $27 per bay. So that's whether you're playing by yourself or you're playing with 6 people. So right now with COVID, we used to have to be able to have 8 people, but with the restrictions, it's now 6. But you can have up to 6 people in a bay. So typically we see people here for about 2 hours. And the rates change from 12 to 5 and then 5 to close. So closing right now is midnight and 1 a.m. during the weekends on Friday and Saturday. We also have half price Tuesdays. So those prices are in half on Tuesdays, which is definitely a popular day. We also have what is called a summer academy for kids, ages 6 through 13. So kids who want to try out or have experienced a little bit of golf, that's going to be starting up beginning of June, and that's going to run.
What's for that?
So the cost of that is $179 early bird, so $179, and it's Monday through Friday, and it's from 9 to 12. And you come in, and our instructors, my golf pro and my other instructors are here to teach kids all about chipping and driving, and we'll have a putting mat, and it's a fun time. I've had both my kids go through this. We also have what is called a summer fun pass, which will be Monday through Friday. The cost of that, I believe, is $199, and that's unlimited golf Monday through Friday from open till 5. And that is, we had that last year. It's very popular, where you can come in any of those times, and very cost effective, and it gives you just something to do with the kids.
How big are the classes for the summer academy? How like
we will limit those to 50 for each week.
Okay.
So we'll have up to 6 to 7. It will be every 6 kids will have 1 instructor.
How many people do you have on your instructor teams right now?
We have 1 golf pro. I have a lead instructor, and then I have a number of associates who have taught in the past. So we are staffed and covered and ready to go.
Tell us a little bit about your golf pro. Did you say it was a woman?
Her name is Tiana Jones, and Tiana Jones is actually in the Ohio State Hall of Fame for athletics. And she has taught and coached in many courses over the years. She was the 6th female, she was the 6th African-American female to be inducted into the PGA. She is a local legend in a sense. She's fantastic. And she is pretty booked out on her lessons. She's an
I would imagine.
yeah, she's
awesome.
fantastic. So that's the other part of it is not just from a community standpoint, being a very diverse workplace. And my team is really based on that. You know, I look for a lot of not just minorities. I look for a lot of women that are involved in running our locations. And we see that with our company. We have a lot of diversity in our upper management. We really preach that.
Yeah, it's just smart to do that.
It really is. It's a real no-brainer because I find out they're a lot smarter than me. So that's the beauty of what we do.
Good, good.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So we went over the pricing. So what else? What else can I answer?
You have differential pricing for the weekend, or is the weekend that same?
It's the same. Price? So yep, the pricing is all the same during the week.
Okay. So there's no price increase for Saturday or Sunday?
No, it's just the nighttime's a little bit more expensive. But again, that gets split up if you have up to 6 people. So it's not per person. It's
right.
Per
day.
We also have what's called a platinum membership. So somebody who comes in here quite often, especially companies like to pay for this, and you just come in and you can use that at any time, and you're first on the list if we're on a wait. And it's also can be shared for you or up to 6 people with your company. That's called a platinum membership.
So it's like a corporate membership, right?
It's a corporate membership more or less, but if you are here if you're here twice a week, it pays for itself over the month. You get the newest edition of the Callaway clubs, and those things are beauty. They make a difference. And you need to bring your clubs. We have clubs in all of our bays. So
okay.
What?
You mean you're providing clubs for most people?
Yep. We have clubs in every bay for men's and women. We have left-handed clubs also.
Do most people bring their own?
A lot of people do because they want to try out their new driver, or they want to try out, or they're more comfortable with their clubs. But yeah, we do. We have a lot of people that bring their own clubs, whether it's they're bringing them in a bag or they're holding them together. But you don't need to bring any clubs.
Well, that's interesting. I would not have expected that.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
Well, I think we know where we could plan our next outing when we're all able to kind of get together.
Actually, that sounds like a great idea for an outing. We'll have to see what we can do about something like that. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. It's just really awesome to have this venue available. Like I said, it started being built there at that corner. And I was wondering, what the heck is this? And then of course, the tiers went up. But I'm disappointed that there's no swimming pool. I mean, really.
No kidding, right? Yeah,
no kidding.
The nets go up, and a lot of the communities go, "What is that? Are you holding Godzilla? What are those nets?" It is.
They're huge, of course.
Yeah, they're huge. They're easy to see. So, yeah, this has been it's been a fun week with the NFL draft. So we're getting we're getting some calls for some people to come in tonight as we kind of gear up and.
Yeah, people are looking for something
that.
to do. Yeah.
We got I'm not gonna say who, but we got a couple of draft picks coming in tonight, and it's gonna be exciting.
How fun.
Yeah.
But they're choosing to celebrate with you.
They're celebrating, they're celebrating with their families. So, we got this is obviously a big moment for them. So I'm excited for the city too.
Yeah, well, this is really great because it's a way to do things as a family.
Yes.
And also as a team building exercise with small companies. It would be a great venue for that kind of thing as well.
It is. And the thing, and I haven't touched on it, but we're open 363 days a year. So our bays are heated. And we also have fans in the back where we get these days where it gets a little bit warmer, but we have 3 rows of infrared heating. So you can play year round. And we actually keep pretty pretty busy during the off months when you can't get on the course, because you can continue to swing and practice your game. So
Sure, sure. Well, that's
yeah.
really good. Really, really good.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. This was just incredible. We really enjoyed hearing
Good.
about all of this.
Well, thank you, Marilyn and Jim. I appreciate you inviting me. Please come and see me. Come see us at TopGolf. Just come see the building.
This sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to take your grandkids, you know?
Oh, absolutely. My kids always want to come. They want to come for their birthday parties. Like, all right.
Well, they're going. Isn't it take your daughter to work day, you know?
They do. They love coming in here because of that. They love being outside, and they just have fun, and their friends love coming here too. So it's an
Well, and it would be a great venue for a tween birthday party, somebody who's like 11, 12, or 16 or 17. How fun would that be?
Absolutely.
You've given me a new idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you again.
All right. Well, next week we are going to be starting our look at summer fun, and Jim Lang has worked hard to get a good variety of interesting speakers together. Next week we're going to kick it off with Samantha Harsh, the lead instructor for the Conservancy for the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Well, if you've been doing a little bit of spring cleaning, this week the Restore in Stowe on Graham Road is going to be holding a secure document shredding and recycling event this Saturday, April 1st from 9 until noon. Next Tuesday is an election. It's the next election, so it's not a huge ballot, but it's still very important for our community. So please study up on the issues and get out there and vote. And thank you for all of the Rotary members who are working the election. You are our heroes. Also on May 4th, the Hudson Community Foundation and the Hudson Food Bank have teamed up to host a donation drive for food and personal items in the parking lot at Discount Drug Mart on South 91. That's going to be held for only 2 hours from 11 to 1. But check your pantry for canned goods, pastas, cereals, peanut butter, and jelly. Last week in the Hudson Hub, there was a more extensive list of the food and personal items that they're collecting. This is the first time since this pandemic has really clamped down that they're starting to actually reach out into the community for donations. So let's pull it together and support this community event. And as we normally do, I'm going to look back at this day in history. In 1789, Fletcher Christian led a mutiny on the HMS Bounty against its captain, William Bligh, in the South Pacific. In 1937, we had the first commercial flight across the Pacific operated by Pan Am. And in 1940, Glenn Miller records Pennsylvania 65000. So on that note, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Anyone who is interested in jumping in on the Scout Project fundraising, we'll be meeting at 8 o'clock again tomorrow. So again, thanks, John. Wow, this was interesting. You put a lot of ideas in our head. This is terrific. And I really like the fact that you're supporting the community.